So there seems to be a complete sort of gridlock in terms of solving these small solutions, because the people who can actually solve them actually are too powerful and too preoccupied with something they think of as strategy to actually solve them. I tried this exercise recently talking about banking. They said, can we do an advertising campaign? What can we do to encourage more online banking? I said, it's really, really easy. I said, when people log into their online bank, there are lots and lots of things they'd probably quite like to look at. The last thing in the world you ever want to see is your balance, okay? I've got friends who actually never use their own bank cash machines because there's the risk that it might display their balance on the screen. Why would you willingly expose yourself to bad news? Okay, you simply wouldn't. I said, if you make actually tell me my balance, if you make that an option rather than the default, you will find twice as many people log on to online banking, and they do it 3 times as often. Let's face it, most of us, how many of you actually check your balance before you remove cash from a cash machine? And you're pretty rich, I mean, by the standards of the world at large. Now, interesting that no single person does that, or at least can admit to being so anal as to do it. Now, but what's interesting about that suggestion was that to implement that suggestion wouldn't cost £10 million, it wouldn't involve a large amount of expenditure, it would actually cost about 50 quid. And yet it never happens. Because there's a fundamental disconnect, as I said, that actually the people with the power want to do big, expensive things. And there's, to some extent, a big strategy myth that's prevalent in business now. And if you think about it, it's very, very important that the strategy myth is maintained, because if the board of directors convince everybody that the success of any organization is almost entirely dependent on decisions made by the board of directors, it makes the disparity in salaries slightly more justifiable than if you actually acknowledge that quite a lot of the credit for a company's success might actually lie somewhere else, in small pieces of tactical activity.